T to the G to the I to the F. Thank goodness it's Friday and I am ready to tape, grind, and flow. I know what you're saying. What in the ever-loving heck is this? Well, this is an experiment that will ultimately, hopefully, I won't say ultimately, it's an experiment. You never know how it's going to go, but I hope it becomes a nice premium feature for those sickos that have decided to support every Hornets box score. Right now, it'll be free through the preseason, like a lot of things that we're doing, to just show everyone everything that's on the shelf, and then hopefully people stay around to support. But this is Tape, Grind, and Flow, and it's essentially a thought experiment that I had, which is I love to grind tape. I love to watch Hornets basketball. I found a new service called the highlow.io that will help me easily do that in a way that I haven't been able to do easily before. And so I thought, well, I could do that and combine it with a couple of other things I love to do, which is talk about the Hornets and play music. And some of you know this about me. I love to, I've been studying musical composition. I made the Hornets intro. I make intros for the other podcasts that I produce professionally. And I just love to experiment with different sounds, make some beats in a lot of different genres. I love to play around in classical genres and hip-hop genres and pop genres. So I thought, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to grind some tape because I was going to do that anyway. I want to play some music because I was going to do that anyway, and throw a camera in my face and put it up on the website and see if people groove to it, and hopefully come away from this with some added insight about something in the Hornets universe and maybe a little 4-track ditty that I can include on the post maybe, or throw into something else. So we shall see. So I have got, on your screen now, I've got a selection. Really, it's every single, from last season, every single Brandon Miller 2-point assisted make and 3-point assisted make. And I'm looking for handoff plays. I cannot sort this by handoff. That's a Synergy play type. And Synergy and Second Spectrum are companies that specialize in tracking data. And you can find the numbers on NBA.com. So I know that for handoff plays, Brandon Miller was like in the 90th percentile, close to the 91st percentile in handoff plays among guards and forwards. Now, he didn't do it a lot, so smaller sample size, but he was excellent on those plays. And I think it's going to be key to opening up more 3-point shots for him. So I want to take a look at this and see. I can't sort it by that, but I bet if we run this long enough, and I'm trying to do like 30 minutes here, if we run this long enough, I bet we can find some handoff plays to check out. So we'll be looking for that specifically. But yeah, so some of this is going to be me commenting on what I see here on the footage, and then I might break away to select an instrument, play a little music, and but you can see it, you can grind it. You know, we're kind of in this process together, so I got to be back and forth and just see what works about it. But enough talking about what it is and what we're going to do. Let's hit play. Let's tape, grind, and flow. Brandon Miller, catch and shoot. No handoff there. No handoff necessary. Kobe White a little late on that defense. Grant Williams. Ooh, nice pass. Good strong take there. Brandon Miller with the attitude on that take. I love that. Oh, is that a handoff? Let's see. Yeah. So here you go. Pretty simple. And does he... Now, good screen there. Good physical screen there on Wagner by Grant Williams. And he tries to lock and trail there on Miller, but he gets blasted by that beef from Grant Williams. And you can see it knocks him off just enough. And I believe that's Wendell Carter, maybe. No, is it? I don't know. 34 is dropping a little bit, but Brandon Miller's got enough space there to pull up from 3, and he does. Beautiful shot. That's, in terms of where I want to see handoff plays go, like I would love that, as opposed to him. And I've seen it in a couple of these looks already before I started rolling here. His tendency to get this handoff and then drive this down into the mid-range, particularly if the big gives him the space. So I think part of Charles Lee's process of getting him to take more threes is running more of these plays, A, but B, encouraging him to pull up if he's got the space. If his man comes over the top and gets disrupted, pull up for that three. It doesn't matter if the big is dropping way down to give you the space. And because then, I mean, ultimately, his decisions get tougher if that starts to happen, because then that big will, will move up, or his matchup will be even more aggressive about trying to go over the top and stop that action. So I've already picked out this drum loop. Okay, nope, that's not right. I picked this one out. And then, so these are two plugins from Native Instruments called 40's very own. I guess 40 is a hip hop producer. You might be familiar if you're in the music production game. I'm not terribly familiar with it, but bought these plugins, and they're very like hip hop, a little bit of lo-fi. Let's see what's happening here. So that's triggering on both of those channels. Oh, I see. Oh, up and under. Nice athleticism. Probably got fouled there too. McGowan's kick out. Brandon. A little too much attention there from the Bulls, I think. Didn't need to give all that to. I mean, with all due respect to McGowan's, doesn't need three guys like he's LaMelo Ball. Four guys drop down here. This is just a defensive breakdown by the Bulls. And they're up 12 in the third quarter. Like, this is not a situation where. Brandon Miller, that's cake. Cake, baby. Good ball rotation. And again, these are all makes. So you're not going to see any misses, right? So we're seeing the good stuff. You're going to come out of here thinking Brandon Miller is an offensive genius, and he certainly got some of that in his game, but we are seeing all the good stuff. The cool thing about the high-low is that you can randomize this. So we are seeing random clips from all throughout the season. Man, I hope the Hornets move the ball like this more often. Okay, good rotation. And again, I love this Miller getting caught on a big there and using that to his advantage and just driving by. Okay, so he gets the handoff. So this is interesting, right? So you get the handoff here. Micic. I'm sorry, it was not a handoff. But you get the double screens here. And then down into the mid-range. So again, come regular season with some adjustments, is this, can Richard set that screen a little higher and allow, because he sets that screen a little too low. And so then it's sort of, and maybe this is how it was designed to get Miller this look. But, maybe he can shift some of his footwork here to get a top of the, above the break three here. But I think if Richard sets that screen a little higher, that's just going to automatically be available for him in that situation. But instead he takes the elbow jumper and knocks it down. But that's a great thing about Miller is that, and Clifford talked about this a lot, is just like shot awareness, when to shoot, when not to shoot, but also where to shoot. Like reading the defense and going, all right, is there going to be space here? Great shot, great ball fake. I mean, he has such. We don't talk about this enough on the show, but he has such a devastating ball fake, and he uses it a lot. Probably more than the shot fake is his ball fake. And it's not like he made a ton of plays for others. Like, I mean, he definitely knows when to pass, but, but the ball fake is so convincing. Oh, man, Williams barely gets the screen here. What was happening here? Were they zoning up here? A lot of attention for ball. Miller's already open and calling for it, and Bridges sort of air traffic controls here, sends him around. Brunson, once Bridges sort of makes the hand movement here, Brunson picks up on it, screams for Randall to jump. Randall does it, and Brunson has to take the scenic route because, Mark kind of barely. If Mark does any more here, he probably gets called for a moving screen. That's bad awareness by Randall. Randall could have stopped that. My goal here, by the way, is to go for 30 minutes and see what happens. All right, so I've got a drum groove. I've got some kind of little rhythmic thing. I don't know. I don't really have any, like, patty kind of stuff on it. Whoa, what is that? That was wild. I mean, I don't know that it works for whatever I'm cooking up here, but I feel like I want to star that and just keep that. I feel like I just want to take that and play that on Lockdown Hornets. That just makes you happy. I don't know. I wonder. So I wonder just what happens if I play it out on different. Oh, I see. So it's got these like pre-made. God, sexy. Let's see if anything works here. I got this kind of like, I don't know. It is. I've made something here that definitely you would see over some kind of like TikTok highlight reel. Maybe it needs something like that. Just a little something to like drive it forward. I don't think these work. That's cool. Inbounds, Miller off that Nick Richards screen. I've already seen that 3 or 4 times. Just a nice little set play, out of bounds play. Curls him off that Richards screen. I mean, Brandon in transition, buddy. I mean, I'm ready for it. He was able to work a lot in transition and not have LaMelo Ball for most of the season. So just like imagine when you're thinking about how do the Hornets exceed their win projections, obviously health's a factor, obviously development's a factor, but I just think there's the secret hidden, like, are there wrinkles to the game because these guys have not been able to play all that many minutes? I guess you could kind of qualify this as a health thing. But my God, whoa! I mean, imagine that dude stronger, right? I mean, you're watching Brandon Miller rookie year string bean. Oh, just beautiful. The control, like imagine that dude stronger. But the wrinkles with LaMelo Ball in transition with Brandon Miller, like these things that with Mark Williams setting screens for him, like just like things that are going to open up for him if these guys stay healthy, is what you're looking for. Oh, you got a little defense here with your offense. There you go. And this is what happens when you block twice. You get Brandon Miller outlet. That's what happens when you put defensive pressure on the rim. Run the break with Cody. Oh yeah. That made it a 31-point game. I don't know if you caught the score there. Oh, my rapide sonk, I miss you. Oh, another mid-range look for Miller. Oh, that's kind of a handoff. There's Grant. So here's, so to me, this is a good example. So let's kind of take a look at this a couple times. So, there's all kinds of different handoffs, I think. I mean, there's ones where Brandon Miller's going to get it a little bit later, like right on the hip of Grant Williams. This is one where it's like, and I feel like the handoff has evolved a lot into this, which is just like a launch pad sort of situation where, is that a handoff? Maybe they would qualify, maybe they wouldn't, but it's like almost like a very short chest pass that then you're going to come off that with so much momentum that, look at the bounce that he gets there. Like, there's not much of a question that he's going to drive this down into the mid-range, and then it's all about read. Like, Grant probably should have been called for a moving screen here, but this is the art of the handoff, is how do you make this screen? How do you set this screen where you can get a little bit more movement? I mean, that like that probably should have been called because he's getting his hip into the guy, but it's like, you want to sort of get the hip into the side of the guy, because if you get that hip to hip or hip on leg, they're gonna call that. But if you kind of do the booty bump, which is what is happening here, it's like almost side to side, like Grant timing up booty bump, and as long as he doesn't get that knee into the other guy's quad, 60's here. I mean, he's looking at it, he's right on top of it. He doesn't call it, but all kinds of room here for Brandon. Now, I believe this is Karis LeVert. LeVert does a good job of just getting this arm out. And what this arm is going to do is prevent Brandon from pulling up here for three. Drives him down into the middle of the floor. This little fake defense here. Now, there's a second level to this, right? So I don't think the pull-up three was there. I think he made the right call. That's going to happen. He's going to have to drive it down and hit the mid-range shot, and he's capable of doing that, particularly when the big here, Jared Allen, is giving him all the space in the world. Now, what I want to see defenses do to him at some point to just challenge him, to make him make the read a little tougher, is what if Jared Allen comes up and plays him a little closer and makes him drive it down? Is he able to make that play? Is he able to either, get around him and make an athletic play at the rim, or does he make this kick to the corner? Now, look who's sitting here in the corner, Thor. I don't know where this is, 46-25. This is late in the season. This is actually when Thor was hitting threes, but the defense is not going to treat him like that. So, but if you're Miller, you're looking at that and saying, I've got a better shot of knocking down this two than I probably do of kicking this out to the corner for Thor to maybe make it, most likely not make this three. And so the right read here on a team that can spread the floor is to make this kick to the corner. Not sure it was there for Miller in this situation. Will it be for him next season? I mean, that's a big question. Do they have enough shooting to put around Miller where he can make more plays? Making plays is about, it's not just about like, do you kick it to the open guy? It is a little bit about like, which open guy? You know what I'm saying? Like an open Brandon Miller from two, that's probably, if you do the math on the points per possession, a better look than Thor from the three. It's not a better look than like average NBA shooter from that position. But I'd venture to say if you ran the math on Thor's efficiency from that spot and Brandon's efficiency from that spot, it maybe Thor still beats it, and that's sort of the 3-2 quandary that you're always in. But I would venture to say that it's probably worth it for Brandon in a somewhat close game here against a good team. So you're down 13. This is probably towards so 60. Yeah, I mean you're towards these are the games that Cleveland had kind of given up a little bit, or not given up, but they had already gotten their playoff positioning. So I need to record something here. Fooled around. I kind of like that. So, okay, so there, I got a little melody on top of this. Nah, I don't like that little hitch in the giddy up that I added. I'm just gonna let this play out. Quantize this. Oh, thought we were gonna see another Brandon Yam there. And I don't know what the music makes. I'm recording this. Like I'm trying to get this to a place where I can go live so that you can comment. I can read your comments. It can be just like a whole cool hang thing. But I don't know what the music mix is going to be like here. So I think I am recording all of this separate, although I probably did not set up the audio totally right here. I like it in theory. And again, I mean, this is just like a 4-bar loop that I'm creating here. Not going to be able to make a symphony in these short time periods, but I could get some ideas, kind of expand this out. A little behind the scenes thing. I'm actually in just a few minutes going to leave, and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and there is a conference for this society for composers, and I signed up for it. I'm going to go hear some people talk. So these people that make music for video games and movies, a lot of these folks, including Bear McCreary, which if for the nerds out there, was the guy that did music for Battlestar Galactica. He's going to talk. I don't think he's talking today, but I think I'm signed up to go to see him tomorrow. Nerd alert. Nice. Look at that shimmy ball fake. Oh, yeah. So that was one of the best highlights of last season, right? Let's not get away from here before we see that again. I mean, we might just close it out on this little. And I don't know. So this is like my second time recording this, because the first time I recorded it, I didn't have my mic latched in. So I did a lot of talking. It's a good rehearsal, but none of it exists anymore. So you've got kick out there to Brandon, but look at that. I mean, look at that ball fake. I just think, I may have said it already, but I'm just going to say it again. Like, his ball fake is devastating, particularly when he gets mismatched on bigs, which, again, I would love to see more sets next season where you're running LaMelo, and you're running LaMelo off Brandon screens, Brandon off LaMelo screens, a lot like what Golden State did with Stephen and Clay a lot. So in those situations, like, you can get the defense confused and end up getting a big on Brandon. So I would love to see more of that. And then Brandon here just drives down, and he looked at it and said, Walker Kessler, I would like every single – I know that by the numbers you are a great shot blocker. Look at Kessler goes straight up here. Like, I don't know what you want Kessler to do. This is one of the plays that you highlight and go, okay, if Brandon is, to me, all NBA players are always this combination of you look at the skill set and you say, yeah, that could be an all NBA player. And then you look at the physical tools, the measurements, and you say, yes, that profiles as someone that is all NBA. But it's not as simple as saying this guy has the measurements, this guy has the skills, smash them together, all NBA player. It's never that simple. It is a certain je ne sais quoi. It is a certain irrational confidence. It's an ability to make plays that they should not be able to make, even though they have the skills, even though they have the physical tools. They make plays that, and this is, LeBron James. Now, Kevin Durant, I mean, even though he has freak athletic ability, he makes shots, makes skills under certain pressure situations that he probably shouldn't make. And that's where the superstars live. They live in this universe of the unknown. And this is a kind of play that you look at and can identify and say, okay, if he's going to make it, here's a little bit of the evidence of that occurring, is him going up against Walker Kessler. Again, I don't know where this is in the season. No stakes. This is very slim evidence, but it's just a little peek behind okay, this kid's special. Like, it's no guarantee of anything, but it is a slight sliver of special that you've got with Brandon Miller here making the yam over Walker Kessler. Boom. All right, there it is. Tape, grind, and flow. We got a little bit of something here. Brandon Miller is good. I think it was a mistake taking the head shout. Second guessing myself all over the place. Hey, this was fun. I'm going to do it again, and hopefully do it again and again, because I've learned a lot about Brandon Miller here. I hope you have too. I hope you had some fun. I hope you like the music. Let's keep it going. Let's have fun throughout this entire season, because it just, knock on all the wood, but we can't possibly go through a third season like we have the past two. It's got, even if it's not a play-in season or a playoff season, even if they get 29 wins and hit that ESPN win projection, it just simply has to be more entertaining, less existentially horrible than the past two seasons. That's my hope. Knock on wood again. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your support here on Every Hornets Box Score, and I will see you for the next Tape, Grind, and Flow